Hi, I'm Allison Howard. This yoga video will be Hatha yoga for interoception. Interoception is the body's ability to sense itself from the inside, your ability to notice your own heart rate or feel your breathing, your ability to sense muscle tension from the inside of your joints, to feel hunger, to feel thirst, all of these sensations that come from the body to the body itself. This series has been Hatha yoga for a variety of different sensory systems. We've done vision and sound, we've done smell, we've done touch, and now we're turning to the body's ability to sense itself, or interoception. This is something we do all the time in yoga. We are always talking about noticing your own breath, noticing the beating of your heart, noticing sensation from the inside. This Hatha yoga sequence will focus on that really specifically. For this sequence, you need a strap. If you don't have a strap at home, you can use a belt or a TheraBand, anything that's long enough to hook around the edge of your foot and lift the foot up and overhead, and a couple of blocks. So if you have nice blocks for yoga at home, those work perfectly. Or you can just grab a nice heavy book and make use of that instead. So grab your props, grab your mat, and let's get started. We'll begin in a comfortable seat. So come to your mat. You can sit in an easy cross-legged pose. You can sit up on your heels. I often like to sit up on the edge of a block or a blanket, especially if I'm going to be sitting for just a few moments like we will be here today. Something to elevate my hips above my knees. Makes it a little bit more easeful and comfortable. You can bring the hands to the tops of the thighs and lengthen up through the crown of the head. Allow your eyes to fall shut. And begin to tune in to your inner landscape. The focus of today's Hatha practice will be interoception. And interoception is one of the body's many senses. We have far more than just 5 or 6 or 7 senses. Your sense of interoception is your capacity to feel your own heart rate, to notice your own breathing, to feel the body from the inside out. So as you come to your seat here today, draw the point of your focus and attention inward. Tune into the rhythm of your own breath. Perhaps even noticing how tuning into your breath might change the rhythm. Allow that to happen. From here, see if you can feel the heart beating. You might be able to feel it, you might not. And if you do feel it, ask yourself where in the body it's most apparent. Along the back? In that upper front body? In the tips of your fingers? Notice any other sensations you bring to the mat today. Sensations of hunger, thirst, fullness, Do you feel the lingering effects of any experiences you've had today? An inner tension, a sense of vibration, or stress we might associate with hormones flowing through the body. You notice mobility or tension in any of the muscles of the body. A drawing in of a joint. Or an easy, relaxed position. I'd like to read for you, as you stay here in your seat, a sweet poem from Dana Falls, from her book called Go In and In, a poem by the same name. Go in and in. Be the space between two cells, the vast resounding silence in which spirit dwells. Be sugar dissolving on the tongue of life. Dive in and in, as deep as you can dive. Be infinite, ecstatic truth. Be love conceived and born in union. Be exactly what you seek. The beloved singing yes, tasting yes, embracing yes, until there is only essence. The all of everything expressing through you as you. Go in, and turn away from nothing that you find. Come down onto your back. Hug the knees in to the chest. Notice the rhythm of breath and heart, the compression of joints and muscles. Take a long inhale. Exhale, extend your left leg long toward the top edge of the mat and bring your right knee across the body. Notice, observe from the innermost gaze of the body. Bring your right knee back through center, extend the right leg toward the top of the mat, and squeeze the left knee in. Bring left knee across body. Notice how this twist changes the breath, where and how you receive the breath, what parts of the body move as you inhale and exhale. Can you feel your own heartbeat any differently in this twist? Inhale, unwind. Tighten your left knee up toward the sky, and bring your right ankle on top of the left knee. Hug your head forward toward your feet and bring your hands behind your left thigh, or perhaps in the front of your left shin. Relax the back of your head down as much as feels nice for you. Flex into both left and right foot. Recline figure 4. Observe sensation in the body. Tension in the muscles. Mobility. And release your left foot back down to the mat. Bring your right foot down beside the left and cross your left ankle on top of the right knee. You can lift the upper body, clasp the back of the right thigh or the front of the right shin. Allow your head to lower back to the mat or as far back as feels nice. And then hug the right knee in as far forward as feels nice. Dorsiflex both feet. Close your eyes. Do you feel any sensations inside the organs of the body? A rumbling of the stomach? A dryness in the throat? A rushing of blood or pounding in the head or temples? The squeezing of your fingertips? The rise and fall of the belly? Release your right foot back to the mat. Unhook your left ankle from your right. Extend both legs long and reach both hands up and overhead. Stretch long and tall in both directions. Making the body as long as you possibly can. Toes and fingers as far away from one another as they can become. Breathe deeply. Where is the focus of the mind? What sensations do you notice? Muscles tensing, stretching. And exhale, hug it in. Look around for your strap. And bring strap to the ball mound of your right foot. You can have your left knee tented up, or if you like, the left leg extended long toward the top of the mat. And press the right heel away from you toward the ceiling. Hold the strap with your right hand, perhaps even wrapping it around, and allow the eyes to close. Scan the body. What areas have muscle contraction, muscle tension, and what areas are calm? What areas of the body have stretch or eccentric movement? Release the right foot down. You can swap the strap out to the opposite foot. Bring the right foot down to the mat or extend the right heel forward toward the top edge of the mat. Strap touches the ball mound of your left foot. Shine your left heel away from you toward the ceiling. And from here, again, close your eyes. Briefly, again, scan the muscles of the body. And now bring your scan to the internal viscera, to your belly, to the rumbling of those organs, to the beating of your heart. Take a long inhale. Feel the lungs fill up with air. Exhale, left foot down. Hug both knees into the chest. Rock and roll along the length of your spine up to a seat. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips to tabletop. And move the spine in a way that feels nice and nourishing. Maybe that's cat and cow. Maybe that's some lateral movements, some twisting movements. Take a few moments to explore the spine. And then sensations that come from within it. Come to a neutral tabletop. Extend your right fingertips forward in space, out in front of you. Extend your left toes behind you. Press through the left heel. Extend through the right fingertips. Breathe in deeply. And hug everything in underneath your torso. Bring your right elbow to your left knee. Hug the knee in toward your heart. Inhale, expand the front of your body. Extend fingertips and toe tips away. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, hug in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, hand and knee to the mat. Extend your left fingertips forward, your right toes back behind you. Press through the right heel. Lengthen. Feel the low belly hug into the organs beneath it. Reach. And exhale, elbow to knee. Hug the knee in toward your heart. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee in toward elbow. Hug everything in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, hug in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, hand and knee down to the mat. Grip the mat with your fingertips. Tuck the toes under. Shine the eyes of the elbows toward the short edge of the mat. Grip the mat with your hands and lift your toes or lift your knees about 2 inches off of the mat and hover. Notice the breath. Notice sensation coursing through the body. Breathe. Exhale, lower knees. Come to stand. Bring both hands to touch one another in front of the heart space. Perhaps allow the eyes to fall shut. Feel your heart. Return to your attention on your internal landscape and notice how it has changed. Your interoception. The body's capacity to go in and in to feel itself. Begin to blink the eyes open. Turn to face the long edge of the mat. Extend arms toward the top and back edges of the mat. Step feet wide so that ankles align underneath your wrists. Turn your right toes out. Bend into your right knee. Turn your left toes in slightly. Warrior 2. Lengthen tailbone down. Gaze out over your right middle finger. Notice the feeling of muscle hugging bone. The subtle sways of balance. Take a long inhale. Exhale, right forearm comes to right thigh, left arm under and overhead. Deep breath here. Inhale, straighten into the right leg, turn all 10 toes toward the long edge of the mat. Angle the toes in slightly. Inhale, both arms reach up. Exhale, hinge forward. Hands come down to the mat, to a block, to the floor. Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged forward fold. Again, receive the information from the body about itself. And inhale, come back up to stand. Turn your left toes towards the top edge of the mat. Angle your right toes in slightly. Bend into your left knee. Extend arms. Gaze over your left middle finger. Breathe deeply into the belly. And on your next exhale, left forearm comes to left thigh, right hand extends overhead. Notice the quality of breath here. Has it shortened? Become more jagged? Notice the wobbles, the micro wobbles of balance, and the contractions of muscles to compensate. Inhale, come back up to stand, straighten into the left knee, turn all 10 toes toward the long edge of the mat, angle toes in. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold. Feel how this forward fold changes sensation for you. The blood, as it collects toward the top of the head, slowly walk your fingertips forward and bring yourself back up to stand. Come down onto the mat, onto knees. Bring the blocks to either side of your heels. You can bring them to the highest height or the lowest. We're coming to a camel pose. If you have a knee pad or a blanket, that can be a nice cushion for the knees. The block should be more or less in line with your ankles here, just in case you'd like to grab them as we come back into this back bend. Back bends are notorious for activating the sympathetic nervous system. Your sympathetic nervous system activates all sorts of organ systems, your heart to beat more quickly, your breathing rate to increase, blood flow in many regions of the body is activated, digestion slows down. So as we move into this back bend, feel and notice the effects of this posture in your body. We'll take it 2 times. Hands can come to your low back. You can face the fingertips down towards the knees or back up toward the shoulder blades, whatever feels best for you. Press your hips forward in space as you begin to bring your elbows toward one another behind the back. Press the front of the heart space up toward the place where the ceiling meets the wall in front of you. And from here, just begin to extend the heart space up and perhaps back. If you'd like to reach down for your blocks or for your ankles, press the hips forward, engage the glutes. Bring a slight tuck to the chin so you don't drop the back of the head. Breathe. And as you exhale, bring hands back to the lower back. Use the strength of the front body to bring the hips down over the heels. And sit in stillness as your sympathetic nervous system does its job. And not only does your sympathetic nervous system increase your heart rate and your breathing rate and changes hormone flow in the body, you have the mental machinery to notice it. Blink the eyes open. And let's take that again. If you moved the blocks out of the way, bring them back outside the heels. Hands back to the low back. Elbows hug in toward one another, shoulder blades down the back. Press the hips forward in space. Lift the front of the heart space. And bring it backwards in space, perhaps reaching the hands back to the blocks or to your ankles. Engaging the glutes. Bringing activation of the deep neck flexors. Inhale here. Notice the quality of breath here in this pose. And exhale, hands back to low back. Hips over heels. Close the eyes and observe. Your body's knowledge of itself going in and in. Extend both legs long out in front of you. Pull the flesh away from the sitting bones and bring hands to either side of the hips here. Sit up tall through the crown of the head. Engage the legs strongly. Toes come back toward the face. Legs are so engaged that they might even lift the heels slightly off of the mat. Dandasana. Breathe. And exhale, release. Bring the right foot inside of the inner left thigh. Turn your heart space toward the extended left leg. Bring your hands outside of your hips here again to lift up through the crown of the head. Arms might lift up and overhead on an inhale, or you can keep them grounded. And exhale, walk your fingertips forward toward your extended left leg. Fold in Janushirasana. Compare the heart and the breath here to what you saw with your mind's eye after our back bend. Walk your fingertips back in toward your hips. Extend your right leg. Bring the left sole of your foot to the inner right thigh. Hands to the outsides of your hips. Again, lift up high through the crown of the head. And walk the fingertips forward toward the right leg. Face, torso comes closer to the leg. Fingertips walk you back up to a seat. Soles of the feet come together. Open the soles of the feet out. You can bring your hands down to open them out like a book. Engage the glutes to bring the knees down closer toward the ground. Take an inhale to lift the chest. And exhale to lower forward. Take a long, deep breath in. And exhale completely. Inhale, back up. Extend the legs out long and recline all the way down onto the mat for final Shavasana. You might like to bring your hands to your torso and feel the rhythm of your own breath lying on the mat. Feel it both through your interoceptive sense, your sense of the body from within itself, and with your tactile sense, with the sense of your hands, the pressure of your hands and the pressure of the body against them. Listen to the sound of your breath. If your eyes are closed, notice fluctuations of color and light from the insides of the eyelids. Go in and in. Be the space between two cells, the vast resounding silence in which spirit dwells. Be sugar dissolving on the tongue of life. Dive in and in as deep as you can dive. Be infinite, ecstatic truth. Be love conceived and born in union. Be exactly what you seek, the beloved, singing yes, tasting yes, embracing yes, until there is only essence, the all of everything expressing through you as you. Go in, and turn away from nothing that you find. Deepen the breath. And press yourself up to a seat. I want to thank you so much for being a part of this practice today. It was a pleasure.